Welcome, modern day mystics, fellow truth seekers, James and Justin back again, and today I found a new YouTube channel which looks to have a lot of cool, interesting content on it. It's called Audiotale English, and this video is titled Yugas Explained, The Birth of Time, The Cycles of Ages.
Birth of Time, you got my attention.
This looks like a fascinating one that's related to Hinduism, I think, here, so we'll watch this and unpack it.
Before time began, before the stars blinked into the void, there was only stillness, only the unmanifested. In that eternal silence, he lay, Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Being. Floating upon the endless ocean of cosmic nothingness, on the great serpent Ananta Shesha, whose coils hold infinity itself. And from his navel bloomed the lotus of creation. From it emerged Lord Brahma, the creator of worlds. By Vishnu's will, Brahma shaped the universe, and thus began the great play of time. But time in Hinduism is not linear. It flows in cycles, vast, powerful, eternal. Just as night follows day, and seasons come and go, so too do the Yugas, 4 great ages, each shaping the fate of gods, demons, and humankind. These are not stories of the past. This is our truth of existence, the sacred heartbeat of Sanatan Dharma. And Lord Vishnu, he is the witness of all. And so begins the cycle of time, the journey of the 4 Yugas. After emerging from the lotus, springing from Lord Vishnu's navel, Lord Brahma, the creator, gazed upon the vast silence of unformed space, and from his thoughts, he shaped the worlds. The lokas, the laws of Dharma, the rishis, and the first beings. He created both devas and asuras, children of the same source, but destined to walk different paths. And with this divine act, the first yuga of the Maha Yuga cycle began. Satya Yuga, the age of truth, when Dharma stood on all 4 legs. In this yuga, humanity lived in perfect rhythm with nature and spirit. People practiced tapasya, ahimsa, and truthfulness without effort. There was no hunger or disease, and the earth, known as Bhumi Devi, gave freely. The seasons were balanced, the rivers pure, and the skies calm. It was the age when sages like Bhrigu, the sage of judgment and tester of the gods, sage Atri, father of Dattatreya and master of austerity, sage Pulastya, ancestor of Ravana and keeper of knowledge, and sage Vasishtha, royal sage and guide of kings and gods, walked among men on earth. Even in the golden peace of Satya Yuga, the universe faced subtle trials. To preserve Dharma's sacred balance, Lord Vishnu took 4 divine forms, each a powerful answer to rising chaos. When the Asura Hayagriva stole the Vedas and cast them into the cosmic ocean, Matsya appeared during the great deluge. He guided King Satyavrat's ark and retrieved the sacred knowledge, ensuring creation's wisdom would survive into future yugas. Then came the Kurma Avatar, as Devas and Asuras churned the cosmic ocean for Amrita. The mountain Mandara began to sink. Vishnu, as Kurma, bore its weight on his back, holding steady the axis of effort, desire, and divine balance. Next was Varha Avatar, the cosmic boar. When Hiranyaksha, dragged Bhumi Devi into the depths. Varha rose from the void, defeated the demon in a battle that shook the realms and lifted earth on his tusks. And then Narsimha, the fierce man-lion. To protect the devout Prahlad, Vishnu emerged from a pillar, neither man nor beast, and tore down the Asura king Hiranyakashipu, breaking every rule the Asura believed unbreakable. Satya Yuga lasted 1,728,000 human years. It was the longest and most luminous of the 4 yugas. But though Dharma remained strong, the seeds of ego and division had been sown. Some rishis began to feel pride in their penance. A few humans desired control, comfort, and recognition. The purity of action began to give way to intent. But the cosmic wheel never stops. The light that illuminated Satya Yuga began to dim, and thus began Treta Yuga, an age where Dharma still lived. But now amidst kings, battles, and rising ego, setting the stage for divine wars that would echo through time. Dharma still stood strong, but it now rested on 3 legs instead of 4. A balance had to be preserved not through purity alone, but through action, devotion, and justice.
You know what's interesting here is the idea that you could be some type of like egoless being living in peace in like what looks like a heavenly realm here, and then build an ego that turns into something. Is that a lesson for like even those who have been maybe awakened or come to some understanding that you can still find your way back? You can still go back.
Well,
to
the trick is that there's no
egomaniac.
such. The trick is that there's no such thing as an ego.
Okay, can you elaborate?
That's the trick. Point to me, find me an ego. Where the hell is this ego? You know what I mean? Like enlightenment gets enlightened. You don't get enlightened.
Yeah.
Oh, you thought you were going to get enlightened? You don't get enlightened. Enlightenment gets enlightened. Enlightenment abounds. Ego is just like a name that we give for this person that's like, you know, we've all got characters. Find me a person that's got that isn't like medically in some state that's like generally got their faculties about them that doesn't have a character at all. And by the way, super monotone that counts as a character,
Yeah.
or super peaceful is a character. You know, the question is, where does that character fit into the jigsaw puzzle? What fashioned down that character or that little vector within reality's jigsaw angles and sides to it? What's forming these seeming egos? It's circumstance, the environment around it, you know what I mean? Flower needs rain to turn into a flower, you know, needs sunshine to do photosynthesis. Trauma needs to be created within a person to create somebody that's got like goals and ambitions. Some kind of trauma or some kind of event's got to happen along the way. You ever seen somebody that's had the world served to them on a damn plate? Are they typically super, unless they've had like some disapproving father or something, but somebody that's been like basked in all the things you could want, they seem less driven than somebody that's got something to prove, you know, staring through their eyebrows. Been some horror happen to them. They got a target. That's why their face is turning that way. So what is an ego? It's just a name that we call for like a personality structure that seems to occur in a person at a certain specific time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what humans do. That's what a brain does. That's what gray matter does. It like forms like this thing. How are you supposed to communicate? How are you supposed to talk without some like temporary scaffolding, even like identity? You know what I mean? You go to the store. Imagine being too enlightened to buy your food from the store. Like, you know what I mean?
So
hello, sir?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, here's the food. Ah, gotcha. That's an ego. Only like a smartass would come along and go, no, that doesn't prove that they have an ego. You're a smartass. Yes, it does. They at least temporarily had an ego. How are you supposed to speak without one?
So all these people, like, so I think you're bringing up a good point here, because even in the heavenly realm, they still had egos, right?
Yeah, according to humans.
Yeah.
Like from a limited human perspective, scrambling for scraps to try to figure out what life
So
is.
really,
so get
it's
something.
the type of ego that changed that seemed to bring them into an environment where brutality starts to take form.
brutality. It's just a word. It's just a word. That brutality operates like a balance against something else. All distinction is nothing more than imperfection. Everything within reality is a distinction in contrast to something else. And in essence, creates friction due to imperfection. We're part of the piece, right?
Yeah.
The only thing that's perfect is the whole. The whole is perfect as a one unified thing.
Yeah.
And that is what is enlightened already.
Yeah.
So that's what gets enlightened, not you. That remains enlightened, but if you shush yourself down sometimes when it's appropriate, and you just become aware of it, people may unknowingly, ignorantly come along and go, "You're enlightened. This guy's enlightened." The guy saying, "I'm enlightened," is usually identified as not the enlightened one.
Yeah.
Other people got to say you're enlightened because you're reflecting something. But the moment you start flapping your gums and teaching and doing all this stuff, you're damn right. You're sitting duck for an ego, like whatever this ego thing is to start. But it's just, how are you supposed to talk? Yeah. They'd say you can't talk about it. The enlightenedness of people say you can't write it down, you can't talk about it. But we're sitting there going, talk about it. To give me some lessons on it. It's going to be a fragmented, not quite complete, not quite perfect thing. Only the entire thing is perfect. Mm. We are the imperfect, perfectly imperfect components of it. All of us, and every thought and every identity we pick up and put down and create and refine is all part of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's some guy out there, like how many people get a sentencing? You know what I mean? Like you can watch videos online of people that did something horrible. We all agree it's horrible. Mm. They committed some atrocious, perpetrative act, and the law is bringing the hammer down on them. Sometimes they look sort of surprised. Like sometimes they're like, you know what I mean? Or they'll like beg for their mercy, or they'll show remorse. Like sometimes violent criminals even show remorse. But in their endeavor to do some of these bad things, if somebody gets in their way, they'd be like, that's the asshole getting in my way. Yeah. Even the bad guy thinks the guy trying to foible his plans is the bad guy. Mm. They're each other's bad guy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Thankfully, we can agree on some things and be like, no. You know, if you care about peace and harmony, then you can be part of a group of people that will also agree certain acts are bad, and we'll all decide together, and we'll base laws on that. We can live in a generally safe environment where we can progress forward, and that's fun to do. You know what I mean?
Into the next Yuga. All right. Well, we'll carry it on here.
In Treta Yuga, great kingdoms flourished. Truth, sacrifice, and duty became guiding lights. Yajnas were performed to honor the gods, and the Vedas were preserved through oral traditions and sacred chants. Humans still had longer lifespans, noble intentions, but ego and desire began to stir in their hearts. To restore cosmic balance in Treta Yuga, Vishnu incarnated in three mighty forms. As Vaman, the humble dwarf Brahman, he approached the mighty demon King Mahabali during a grand yajna. With divine wit and cosmic power, Vaman requested just 3 paces of land, then expanded to cover the heavens, earth, and underworld, humbling Mahabali and restoring cosmic balance. As Parshuram, the fierce warrior sage, he wielded his divine axe to challenge and destroy the arrogance and tyranny of corrupt Kshatriya kings. Through relentless battles and unwavering determination, he restored Dharma and cosmic order, becoming the eternal guardian of righteousness across multiple ages. And as Ram, the prince of Ayodhya and the embodiment of Dharma, he fought a divine war against Ravana, the mighty Asura king of Lanka. With the support of Hanuman's devotion, his brother Lakshman's valor,
I didn't know Hanuman could fly,
and the strength of the Vanar army led by Sugriv, Lord Ram vanquished the 10-headed king of Lanka, liberating Sita and restoring peace and righteousness. The Treta Yuga, lasting 1,296,000 human years, was a grand and heroic age. It was a time when noble idols flourished, yet faced constant trials and challenges, shaping the path of dharma and destiny in the world. But even this age bore cracks. Desire and pride crept deeper into hearts of kings. Wars, though fought for dharma, left behind scars and questions. Righteousness was no longer natural. It had to be chosen. It had to be fought for. The gods observed, silent but watchful. As the age progressed, the light of dharma dimmed further. Thus came the dawn of Dvapara Yuga, where conflict would no longer be between kingdoms, but within families themselves. Dharma now stood on only two legs, signaling a world where righteousness was fragile and constantly tested. The divine order required new interventions as the cosmic play grew complex. The first great shift of the Dvapara Yuga began with sage Vyas, the legendary seer who brought order to chaos. As the age turned, he divided the infinite ocean of Vedic knowledge into four parts: the Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajur Veda, and Atharva Veda. In Dvapara Yuga, the world was marked by increasing division and struggle. Human lifespans shortened, and virtues like truth and compassion became harder to sustain. Kings ruled vast kingdoms, but internal strife and rivalry spread deep roots. Lord Vishnu took a new form to guide humanity through these turbulent times. As Krishna, he was never just one being. In his childhood, he was a friend to Sudama, sharing humble meals and laughter that time could never fade. In the soft glow of Vrindavan's moonlight, he was a lover, dancing in eternal harmony with Radha. When evil rose, he was a warrior, fearless, destroying demons with divine precision. And in the war of Kurukshetra, he became a guide, steering Arjuna's chariot and his soul through doubt and duty. Krishna played many characters, yet through them all, he remained the same, the divine presence behind every emotion, every moment. And yet, Dharma's decline accelerated. Greed, jealousy, and deceit became common. Even the great warriors faltered under temptation and anger. Spiritual knowledge was fragmented, and the unity of purpose fractured. Lasting 864,000 human years, this age saw the rise of epic tales, heroic battles, and spiritual teachings. Yet it also marked the deepening separation from the original unity. Eventually, the light waned further, and the cosmic cycle brought us into the present age. Kali Yuga. Dharma now stands on just one leg, barely holding its ground. This is the age of spiritual darkness, where illusion clouds truth and the battle is fought within every heart. Materialism, greed, anger, and falsehood spread rapidly. Lust and deception corrupt societies. Life is shorter, more difficult, and many have lost their connection to the divine. Yet, even now, sparks of hope shine in acts of devotion, kindness, and awakening. Meanwhile, in the heart of Kali Yuga, saints and sages still walk among us. Their robes are many, their words eloquent, and their presence commands reverence. But look closer, most are merely masked in the illusion of spirituality. They wear the garb of wisdom, yet chase power. They chant the divine name, yet their hearts are far from it. In this age, the genuine seeker is rare, and the pretender plenty. Corruption and moral decay run rampant. Truth is often hidden beneath layers of lies. Spiritual knowledge is fragmented, and rituals sometimes lose their meaning. But every soul still holds the potential for awakening and transformation. To guide humanity through this darkness, Lord Vishnu is awaited to descend as Kalki, the final avatar. Kalki will arrive riding a white horse, sword blazing, to end this age of decay and restore Dharma. This age lasts 432,000 years, and we are but in the early chapters of this vast, challenging era. Though Kali Yuga is dark, it is not the end. The age will conclude with Kalki's arrival, who will cleanse this corrupted world, restoring cosmic order and preparing the way for the next cycle. The rebirth of Satya Yuga, where truth and harmony will shine once again. In the vast cycle of time, the dance of good and evil unfolds. Each yuga revealing a deeper truth about the cosmic balance. In Satya Yuga, in this age of purity, good and evil existed far apart, each in their own realms. The gods in Satyaloka or Swargaloka, and the demons in Patal Loka. In Treta Yuga, good and evil began to share the same world. The epic struggle of Lord Ram and Ravana shows how divine righteousness and demonic pride clashed openly upon the earth. In Dvapara Yuga, the boundary blurred even further. Good and evil now dwelled within the same family, as seen in the Pandavas and Kauravas. The battle of Kurukshetra was not just a war of kingdoms, but a war within the human soul. And today, in Kali Yuga, good and evil no longer reside in distant realms or separate families. They coexist within every individual. The struggle between light and darkness is internal, a test of each soul's resolve. So, how does one walk the path of light in this age of shadows? How can the divine be kept alive within? The answer lies in conscious living, in practicing truth, compassion, and self-discipline, in choosing love over fear, service over selfishness, and wisdom over ignorance, by turning inward through meditation, prayer, and devotion, by embracing the eternal presence of the divine in every breath. We can transcend the darkness within, for the divine is not distant. It is the spark in every soul, waiting to be awakened. And in that awakening lies the promise of a new cycle, where truth, light, and harmony will rise again.
That was a really good video. I liked it.
Yeah.
But I'm unsure about like the time frames. Like those who do science might be like, hey, like we were, cavemen only 40,000 years ago or something. I don't even know what they would say. But there's something strange there going on here, because with the evolution teaching, it doesn't seem to like line up. Like I'm thinking Western evolution teaching, at least, doesn't seem to line up with kind of the story that's presented. And I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying from stories that I've heard, there's things that don't seem to line up here.
That's a really good point. From a literal, from literal standpoint. Yeah. That aside, I hope you don't take it the wrong way. I just want to say some good, nice things.
Yes, yeah.
It's so rare that I'm often like, James will be saying something that probably most people would agree with, and I'm being an asshole. But I'm saying the visuals. What do you think about those visuals?
Really cool.
Really cool visuals.
Really cool.
I liked, in the end, it was a little bit tough for me to get into, but by the end, I was kind of digging the message of like saying like, we're living in a time where go inward, because we're all got the bad guy and the good guy in us. I'm like, that seems relevant. When they were talking about like, there's saints among the earth, they didn't just show Hindu people. They showed like all different kind of religious people saying like, which reflects an open-minded nature, which is a plus in my book. I heard recently, did you hear about this? Something like, was it in the UK or somewhere? There was like a huge conversion to Hinduism that happened recently.
No, I didn't hear
that. That's why, because they're the ones that are actually got the most. That's a level-headed thing to do, is to like include everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In that way, that's appealing in some degree. There might be some problems with that. I'm not considering right now. I just wanted to say some good stuff about the video because I don't always say good stuff.
In terms of the visuals, I kept imagining myself like, being there. Though a lot of those sceneries, I was like, man, I wish I could actually like be in that scenery.
Well, don't put the cart before the horse. We're in the olden times, believe it or not. There will be a future generation that this will have sepia, filter over it, and we'll be like the early days of AI. So enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah.
Because when you're living in it, when you can do anything at the will of a snap, you might be like, anything to give to see to live in the time right before the big change happened.
Yeah.
We're in it. And I just appreciate the visuals for what they are. That's cool. It's progressing so fast.
Yeah.
And then the message of the video I kind of dug about this idea of like, it was kind of like encouraging to anyone to go inward and reconcile this. And whenever somebody says shift your focus from selfish to service to others, that's just right away probably the best thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If we could all get a little bit more others oriented, like, you okay? Do you have everything you need? Is there anything I can do to make you feel like somebody that's connected to someone else and feels complete and whole? Yeah. You know what I mean?
No, it's
good for the soul, baby.
It's a good message. The last Yuga there, like, to me feels like that's the only Yuga that's ever existed, but that could just be because that's the one that I'm in and that's the one that I'm experiencing.
Who knows what was going on before? And I don't buy really any of it, literally. To me... But I don't take it for granted either, man. This is information been passed down. There's something significant to get about it.
Yeah, and there's also something to be said about, are things really degressing? Like, if you could go back 100, 200, 300 years from now, would you choose that era versus the era that you're in right now? Like, is humanity devolving have to come to an absolute collapse before it can return to some utopian society? I don't know. Interesting. I'd like to see it in that way. But
a little irrelevant.
Yeah. Well, it's not irrelevant.
I'm not trying to be mean.
It's not irrelevant at all.
That was being a smartass. No, but the question in terms of
devolving.
Like, are we devolving? I feel, in all seriousness, a little bit irrelevant. Like, ask yourself something. What if you knew you had 2 months to live and you were going to hell when you died? And there's nothing you could do. And you couldn't necessarily save anybody or do anything. What would you do? Would you be bitter? Would you be trying to get at someone? You're doomed.
Yeah.
The question is, what would you do if you were doomed? And then just let your heart answer, And that'll tell you something about you, because you might find a weird, desperate thing in there of like, can I do anything good before I go? I know I'm doomed.
Yeah.
But that'll like test the pureness of your heart. Like, not a fake bullshit answer. If the answer is, I would try to kill everybody too and send everybody to hell with me. You know what I mean? Just be honest with the answer.
I think a lot of people would just want to try and live a carnal. They'd like want to soak up maybe the last of it.
The point I'm trying to make is sometimes you're in crazy circumstances, but you're here right now.
Yeah.
Without piling some beliefs on it. Like I always say, don't believe anything. Don't believe anything. Don't trust anything. More like, don't go believing things. Don't go believing in anything. You know what I mean? I'm saying just be in it. Just don't dream it, be it. To quote Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Or did I lose you?
No, I think it's a good meditative exercise to think about, to stick up to myself. I still don't think my question was irrelevant.
No, I'm sure a lot of people agreed with it. I think about the nature of like this idea, because they're giving us time frames, right?
Yeah.
Your question is relevant in terms of time frames. They're talking about the ancient past, and then there's even, you were kind of talking about like, well, where are we headed? Where's this going?
Well, I haven't been to the past, so I can't see what it was actually like millions of years ago.
You haven't been to the future either.
I'm just asking a question. Is that
promise.
Really what happened? Did we devolve into like the worst Yuga possible?
Your question brings to light the irrelevancy of it. Like, you're right.
Oh, okay.
You're right.
Okay.
You're right. We weren't there, so irrelevant. Do you know what it's like to be in the future? No, you don't. So irrelevant. The only thing you know is this. It's happening right now, and your mind ain't going to accept that, which is like the devil. It's the opposite of enlightenment. It's like, no, let me go hide in the future and hide in the past. You can't. You're not going to be there. It'll be more of this. It'll be more now. Yeah. So what would you do now? You know what I mean? Yeah. And then check in with your heart and see what it says.
All right.
Just see what it says.
We'll wrap it up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our reaction. Go check out this YouTuber, the, what is it, Audiotale English. This is a really cool video.
Yeah.
I liked it. And if you guys liked our reaction on it, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, share this with a friend. And everyone, until next time,
stay spiritual.